Well, congratulations to Dallas entrepreneur and leading independent realtor Roger Healy. D Magazine just named him one of the most powerful business leaders in North Texas. That is quite an honor, and wouldn't you know, we're lucky enough to have him in studio this morning. Congratulations, Rogers, and thanks for joining us this morning to talk about the housing market. We know towards the end of the year, if you're looking for a car, you might be able to find a deal. Anything comparable when it comes to finding a house?
Yeah, not in Dallas, Texas. I think I have the same outfit on I had in that photo too. Yeah, not in Dallas. I think that, again, we live in such a unicorn city across the board for anything you have to do with business. So yeah, this is not an end of year sale like you would see at your local car dealership. Okay,
so in the housing market in October, the sales fell to a 13-year low as the prices rose. So where are we with the market with sales?
Yeah, I hate to keep referencing this, but I think the COVID kind of wear off is still in effect. And I think that we saw trends for 3.5 years really be not on par with what we saw, historically the last 20 years. So I think what's happened now is it's really stabilizing. It's still not stabilized, right? So I think that we've seen stuff start to kind of level off in a good way, and our historic cycles of residential real estate are coming back into play.
And those median home prices, a good gauge, where do they stand right now, and how do they compare to a year, 2, 3 years ago?
Yeah, so it's right around $400,000, which is honestly kind of on trend with, Dallas normally historically appreciates at the same rate as like blue collar cities, Oklahoma City, Pittsburgh, et cetera. So we're seeing those kind of jumps, which we're still living in that area, but it's nothing crazy. A few years ago, maybe $330,000 was what would get you a median price home in Dallas-Fort Worth, but we're kind of on trend with the rest of the country.
So some people out there might be looking at getting a home as we head into the new year. What does 2024 hold? Are these sellers still going to have a little bit of an upper hand?
Yeah, y'all might not want to hear this, but yes, it's an election year. Historically, in an election year, you see interest rates drop. We're really only about a half a point higher than we were a year ago. We're right around 7.25%, which is not that much higher than last year. But again, we have an election year, and that means historically interest rates are going to lower to fuel the economy, and real estate really is a big driver for that. So I don't think it's going to be that much easier for a buyer, but maybe the reality is going to set in and it's going to be more of a business transaction.
You just mentioned the interest rates. A lot of people, it kind of scares them off a little bit, but there's a saying, marry the house, date the rate.
Yeah.
Can you explain that saying for us?
Yeah, I think real estate, especially residential, a lot of it's an emotional purchase. And if you find something that you love, you got to act on it. And I think that right now, again, interest rates are really, really high. And I think if you find a house that you can love, you can always refinance. But some people might want to buy a house, live there for 2 or 3 years, and then keep stacking their chips. So yeah, the saying is marry the house, which means fall in love. Date the rate. The rate's not a forever thing. You can always change it if you need to.
Okay, if you're looking at an area here in the Metroplex, there's a lot to choose from. Dallas, Tarrant County, Denton, Collin. Is there an area that's hotter than others or where you might be able to find a deal?
If you find a deal that makes you feel good, jump on it. And I think the definition of a good deal could be whether it's a great price, whether it makes it feel like it's home, a place you can raise your family. And again, realize there's 300 people per day moving to just the city of Dallas, which makes it really, really difficult to go and really beat the competition. So I think that, whatever the neighborhood is, whether it's a good school, whether it's a up and coming neighborhood, get in, get a feel, and then you can always go and probably sell it with a company like ours.
Before we let you go, just any last advice for people who are getting into the market?
Yeah, be grateful. Dallas is such an awesome city, and we live in such a unique situation, really compared to anywhere else in the country. So, be grateful and realize if there's someone else that wants it, that validates the purchase that much more. So yeah, just to embrace our city as it continues to grow.
Happy home hunting in 2024. Thank you, Rogers, for joining us. And for more information, you can go to rogershealy.com.